Hello crochet family, and welcome back to another tutorial from Yarn Creations. I'm Crystal. Okay, so we are going to get started. I'm actually going to show you a sample here first, but I am going to use this blue colored, what's it called? Maybe it doesn't, country blue. It's 100% acrylic, and I have my 5mm hook. And today I'm going to show you how to do the Alpine stitch. So the Alpine stitch uses a mix of single crochet, double crochet, and then we also work in the front post of a double crochet. It's very simple. I have a sample here. I'm actually going to make a washcloth using this pattern. I think it's pretty neat. It gives you that raised texture, which I think would be good for a dishcloth, to kind of give you more scrubbing power perhaps. But as you can see here, so these are just double crochets working in the front post, which I will show in the tutorial. But this is just kind of a sample of what it looks like. So this is cotton that I'm using here, and the color on it is Potpourri Ombre. So there you go. But yeah, so I am going to get started. So you do need to do a chain of a multiples of 2 plus 1. So for the purpose of the sample here, I think I'm just going to do a chain of 13. It should be enough to show the stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's our multiple of 2, and then we need to add one more. Okay, so we are going to do a row of single crochet. Starting from the second chain from the hook, we're just going to do single crochet. So we will have 12 stitches in at the end. So I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe out there. It's been quite the year. I'm not sure how things are where you are located, but we've been having increases in our numbers here. So I'm not sure what the next steps are going to be, but I do know that I'm glad that I kept my kids home for virtual school. I kind of wanted to wait to get through the fall term to see how that went, and then go from there for the winter. I might have them go back, but we'll see where we're at. All right, so I've done my single crochet. I got 12 stitches now. So for our next row, we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do double crochets all the way across. We are treating this first chain 2 here as our first double crochet. You'll see that in patterns a lot. Sometimes I don't always do that, but for this pattern, I will treat this as my first double crochet. So instead of going into the base like we normally would, so you see that first stitch there, that's usually the stitch I work in most of the time, but we're actually going to skip that one and we're going to work into the next stitch. So we're actually only going to do 11 double crochets across, because that first chain is actually our 12th. And I know sometimes that's kind of what can be a bit of a mix-up when you're doing certain patterns. I think that's why I don't tend to follow it that way. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I wanted to make sure that I, was giving you the proper way to do it. And it just kind of, I think with your edges, it makes it a little bit better. But you just need to know that by treating that one as that chain 2 as your first double crochet, that you only are going to be working 11 across. All right, so once more, we do need to do another row of single crochet. So I did a chain 1, and then we're just going to go across and do another row of single crochet. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit here, just for those that might be joining and are not sure how to crochet. But doing a single crochet is just a matter of going into your stitch, yarning over, pulling through. You have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So we're at the end where our chain is here. So we do need to still put a single crochet into that second chain that we did, just so that we have a nice straight edge there. So we are going to do a chain of 2. So in this, so again, like I said before, that is counted as our first double crochet. So we are actually going to start working around the post, the front post of the double crochets in the row below. So we are actually going to be working on this row here. So the first thing that we need to do, so like I said, sorry, excuse me, we are not going, my allergies are something fierce right now. And I just went for a walk and now my eyes are on fire. So we're not going to use that first stitch at the base there that we normally would. But we are also going to be moving down into the front post. So we're going to yarn over, and you're going to see this is your first double crochet. So this is actually our second. This one's our first. We're skipping this one. We're going to go from the front, and we're going to go in behind that double crochet, and then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull up a loop. So you kind of want to even it, like pull it up so that it's like the height of your yarn that's on your hook. That's kind of what gives it that little bit of a little twist there, as you can see. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do, so I'm going to see if I can get a close-up of this. So where this double crochet that we just did in that front post falls, it kind of covers up that stitch there, which is what we normally would have worked into. But instead we worked down below into our other row where we had our double crochet. So we're not going to put anything in that stitch. So essentially we're skipping a stitch along the top. So we are going to do a double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, so now you can see how it kind of like lines up there a little bit. So now our next step is to do the same thing again. We're going to skip this one here, this double crochet at the bottom, but we're going to go into the next one. And we're going to go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then like I said, kind of line it up to the top there, and then just complete your double crochet. So once again, so the stitch that seems to fall like right in behind, you're just not going to put anything in there. So we're going to do our double crochet into the next stitch at the top. Okay, so once again, we're going to do a double crochet around the front post of this double crochet in the previous round. So we're going to yarn over, go in from the front and behind so that we're through it. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, but like I said, bring it up so that you can kind of even out your stitches along the top there. Okay, so we're not going to worry about the stitch that's falling in behind that one, but we're going to do a double crochet into that next one there. So you can kind of see it kind of lines up as you're going along. You just don't want to do the one that's in behind that stitch there. So you're going to move on to the next one right there. Okay, so once again, we're going to skip that next double crochet down there. We're going to come in from the front post. We're going to come up, line it up a little bit there, and finish off our double crochet. Okay, so now we need to do another double crochet there, and then we're just going to finish off this row with another double crochet into the top of that chain there. All right. And that is the Alpine stitch. So the next thing that you would do is you would chain one, and then you're just going to do a row of single crochet. So that way, when you do your next row with the front post double crochet, then it will show on the same side. So that's typically what you do when you're working with a pattern that only shows its actual like texture, or what the design should look like on that first pass that you do. Yeah, so now once we do our chain 2, we'll repeat the same process that we just did. Okay, so we would skip this one here. So we're going to be working basically on the opposite of the one that we just did. So we are just going to do a double crochet into that first stitch, and then we're going to skip. So this is our one that was in between there. So we're now going to be using those ones and just kind of line it up there. Yeah, and then we just do a double crochet into the next stitch on the top. So we're skipping that one, we're moving into this one, lining that up so that our thread's a little even, and we just continue all the way across the top. And that's all there is to the Alpine stitch. It's pretty cool. It gives it this nice, neat little texture, and then as you you can see that it's going to be kind of alternating, so it's going to give it a different look as you do each row along. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I try to, not make them too long, but I also want to make sure that you're aware of all the steps that you need to do. Sometimes I try to go ahead and already have the chain started in the first row of single crochet just to kind of speed up time, but I also kind of like the idea of, incorporating that in some of my videos as well, just for anyone new that might be popping in who is watching this video right now. But yeah, so I appreciate every one of you who, message me and, tell me how much you enjoy my videos, and also ask, for different, ask me about where my videos are located. So you should be able to find all of my videos in the video tab on my page, and I do have them saved into playlists for stitches and for patterns, both for left and right hand. But I mean, you can probably also do a search on my page too if you're looking for a particular stitch. If you don't see it, definitely make sure that you message me so that I can do a video for you, because that's what I'm here for. I want to help those. I know there's all kinds of videos out there, but I'm also learning too, so it's beneficial for everyone. I get to learn new stitches, I get to be interactive with you guys and share different projects that I'm working on. So it's been a really rewarding page, and I am definitely enjoying it. You guys can also follow me on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel, and it's under Insta Yarn Creations, but it's 2 words, so it's Insta Yarn and then space Creations. And I'm also on Instagram, same thing, 1 word, Insta Yarn Creations. But yeah, so thank you again for following and liking these videos. I will continue to keep posting these. I think the next one will be a pattern tutorial. I have to make these turtles for my turtle beach blanket, so I think we're going to do a turtle pattern tutorial, which will be a lot of fun. But anyways, take care, you guys. I will see you soon.